Janice. Good morning, you guys. Hey, Pura, welcome in. Good morning. Good morning. Long time. Just out of the shower. So here we go. Good morning, everybody. If you're here, let me know in the comments. Say good morning. All right, share. Live now. Hey, good morning. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning. Uh-oh, James is coming in. James, I'm in a meeting. Yes, good morning. James, he's not just making sure I'm in the meeting. He wants to be seen. I know how it is.
No, I just noticed the time.
Good morning, Maria. Hey, Sandy. Good morning. Oh, man. So, yeah, my hair is still super wet. James is actually home today. James is home today. Woohoo. So basically, whenever he has like a huge work like weekend type thing, he gets like a day off. So he got Monday off. And so what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be bringing a lot of things to the antique booth because I'm combining the antique booth and things like that. So I have to start getting my life organized. You guys know it's just a carousel of trying to get everything organized. Yes, thank you, Sandy. Hey, Michelle. All right, so changes going on here in Lilyworks. So part of like what I do as like the owner, leader, whatever, is I'm trying to feel and navigate what works best for our community and what we need, things like that. And so with the overall market, the reselling market, blah, 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 is coming down to a slowdown. We have the elections coming up. We had the hurricane. We have other tragedies happening. And so things have just been really tight. And I've had these different ebbs and flows happen within, like, say, eBay or Poshmark or whatever. Like Poshmark, for instance, they just changed their fee structure. So then that kind of bombed for a little bit. Mercari changed their fee structure, and so that kind of went dead for a little bit. So there's been ebbs and flows with any platform. So that can also be the same for ours, which is we're on district, but ours specifically is the Lilyworks community. So with keeping that in mind, I've definitely had to make sure I push myself. When you're your own entrepreneur and you're not just doing it as a side hustle, you have to be able to maneuver and figure out the different streams of what you're doing. So for a while, to build the community, we were really like doing a lot of the live selling and things like that. And that is still really great because you're able to connect with the community more. You're able to push out your pieces and advertise for your own business more. But it could also be super discouraging when you go on and you're like, is anybody here? Hello out there, type of thing, which I totally get. So figuring out like what our whole community needs. I've been putting some things behind the scenes as far as the Lilyworks community, and a lot of you might also be in other communities, but how are we going to be able to make Lilyworks different and not just another place I can sell jewelry, right? Not just another place I can sell antiques and collectibles. So because each different marketplace on district needs to somehow stand out on on its own, and not just because, oh, I love Rachel, so I'm going to join it. It has to be something that could be super beneficial to you as a collector, as a reseller, as an enthusiast, whatever. So as you guys know, I'm going to reiterate like the whole LilyWorks model and mission and goals and things like that is that I started off as a reseller when I was wanting to be a stay-at-home mom with my babies. I was a special education teacher getting completely burned out. And I saw a lot of YouTube videos where people are like, you can make full-time income doing the reseller. And so I was doing it as a side hustle, and you can totally do it as a side hustle, and then pay off medical bills or whatever you need, right? So that was working for a while, and I started building it up until I made the decision, okay, I'm far enough into it where I have like the regular flow of things that I can actually stay home. And then the goal obviously has always been to grow and find different avenues. And that means maybe affiliate links, maybe growing a social media following, maybe doing the Amazon Associates, which is where you are getting paid a little bit here and there for if people use your links. You can do YouTube where you can get that. So you can get different sources of income within that reseller world. And so opening up our district, right, was going to be another way that we could potentially open up another avenue of selling and earning money, and then even more so, more quickly building the community and interacting with each other. Because when you're a YouTuber or you have your Instagram account or whatever, it is very, very difficult to start connecting with people. It just is. It is really, really hard. And I wanted us to have like a base community where you would be able to connect with really quickly. So with that in mind, I've always had that on the back of my mind, like how can I create a community that can be really strong, but not just a community that is like not taking root, if that makes sense. So you definitely want to have a community where you can take root, and so it's kind of like a give and take, right? So I think a lot of burnout from a lot of the leaders in the community are because we're givers. And then there's some people that are not givers. So there can be a lot of burnout in regards to a community setting. And that could be in anything. That could be in a church atmosphere. That can be in Girl Scouts. That can be in 4-H, whatever kind of community that you're a part of. There has to be some kind of a balance. So I'm maneuvering all these ideas around and things like that. But the main thing for LilyWorks is that I have a YouTube channel that gains some kind of a community, some kind of following. And we have almost 3,000 members on one, and then we have almost 7,000 on the other. And so that's going to continue to grow. But the main thing about it is we have jewelry, then we have antiques and collectibles, and then we have the Makers Market. And so the Makers Market, I never really amped up or introduced in my YouTube videos that much, but that was always a third piece that I always really wanted. I was actually in the makers world and community before I even started my own YouTube. I was in the knitting community, and I was in the Etsy makers community where I handmade stuff and tried to network and connect and build a brand that way. So that's definitely something that is probably always going to be a part of what I want to do, what I want to build for our community. And it also goes very hand in hand with, we have jewelry and then we have like craft lots. What can we do with those craft lots? We want to save things from the landfill. We want to be able to harvest things. So I'm trying to attract the makers that are like, oh, I don't have to spend $50 at Joann's. I can just spend $5 and get some vintage goodies that are unique and beautiful. So I think that all of it working together really works. And so my main vision for our Lilyworks community is more of that like antique store mercantile look. And so you guys might have heard, you guys might have seen some announcements, but we're combining all three marketplaces into one, and it is going to be taking place November 1st. And so there was a big part of me that was like, I'm really nervous about that because of how district is set up right now, is it's by different categories. And once you start putting everything into one marketplace, it gets really mishmashed. And I didn't want that. And I didn't want it to be super confusing. Like, so for instance, we have most of our people absolutely love the jewelry, and more specifically, the like the collectible vintage jewelry. And so if we have people that are coming in here and they're selling like the fast fashion they're just flipping from Temu, that doesn't tend to really work well, because like the whole vision of the community is selling things from the landfill. So yes, we're going to have people come in and they're going to try to sell things like that, but they might not do so well because people who are part of the community understand that we want to save things from the landfill. We want to respect collectors. We want to respect and highlight jewelry, antiques, collectibles, and a lot of us have grown up in that like life of being able to collect and go to antique stores, and we absolutely love it, and that's what brings us a lot of joy. So definitely, I don't want the vibe to ever feel geared towards, oh, we're just another stop on the district train for this is where I can sell X, Y, and Z. Like we want to make sure we're exuding the meaning behind it so that we're attracting people who are a good fit for the community and what the community stands for, and that's connecting with each other, you know, socially, to build each other up, to pour into each other with positivity, saving things from the landfill, respecting collectors, trying to work together with makers and get inspired by each other and collaborate with each other. And potentially a lot of us have antique booths, and we might eventually do live sales from our antique booths. So that's kind of the whole vision of the entire marketplace that I'm looking for. And so I talked with Sienna. Hold on, just wait. Talked with Sienna about what that's going to look like November 1st. Because there's like how I envision it is I want it to look kind of like my Shopify store where you can see the different categories, and is what's called a carousel is where, you know how when you just list something, it will say just listed and you can see all the listings and then you can click into it to see all. That's what's called a carousel, a listing carousel. And so right now we have different categories of the carousels that are running through. And some of them are subscriber featured. We have some that are Art Deco, sterling silver, reseller lots, things like that. Those are what is called carousels. I wish, and I'm hoping that the goal, and I'm pushing for it to be much more defined in those three different categories so that it doesn't just look like a mishmash of like an eBay store. So going forward, I have a, a form, a Google form for you guys to fill out. If you are a seller in the Makers Market or Antiques and Collectibles, there is a form. And as we're getting closer to the date, I might just go ahead and just message you guys individually, because you guys put a lot of work into listing the items. And I would hate for them to like just disappear. So we have a form that says, I give consent for my seller status and for my listings to move on over to the Lilyworks. And so we're not going to be called Lilyworks Jewels and Lots over there. It's going to be called just Lilyworks. Awesome, Maria. Perfect. It's going to be called just Lilyworks. So if you're saying, hey, head on over to Lilyworks, hey, like, you know, it's just going to be simple. And then in the header, it's going to say jewels, antiques, and makers, so that people know that that's what that is. And so in the description on District, it's going to say all that it's for antiques and collectibles, makers market, all that stuff. And then the website itself is going to stay the same. It's going to be lilyworksjewels.com, www.lilyworksjewels.com. The other WWs are going to probably, I'll cancel those, the Lilyworks Antiques and Lilyworks Makers, just so that we can all have it under one. And so you guys don't have to do anything in the meantime, because a big part of it was like, what are we going to do with these tags? Like, because there's so many in each different marketplace, which is also a little cumbersome. But I have written out a list. Yeah, so it'll still say lilyworksjewels.com. And I decided I'm going to call you guys my jewels. You guys are the Lilyworks jewels. So it kind of makes sense that. And then the subscribers are also different jewels. So we have the ruby, we have the emerald, and then we're going to come out with a diamond tier pretty soon. Woohoo. So it's going to be Lilyworks jewels. You guys are the jewels. So that's going to stay the same, but make sure whenever you're talking about the www is that you're saying www dot. For some reason, some people that just type in lilyworksjewels.com, it doesn't show up. So make sure we're typing www dot. And that will help people a lot more. And the tags, so I'm simplifying them into, I think it's going to be right around 30 different tags, okay? So once the market is all together, there's going to be around like 30 different tags. And so it's going to say, one of the top tags is going to be jewelry, okay? And then there's going to be another one that says jewelry bracelets, jewelry necklaces, jewelry men's jewelry, and like, so they're going to be different categories. So what you're going to want to do going forward listing after November 1st, you don't have to do anything before November 1st. You would press, if it's, say you're listing a Lisner bracelet, you would click the jewelry tag and you would click jewelry bracelets, if that makes sense. That's like the only thing you really need to do. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense, because I'm trying to have us set up for when we do go into potential category with subcategory. The main category would be jewelry. The subcategory would be the jewelry bracelets. So I'm trying to have us set up like that. So if anyone wanted to click in and they wanted to see all the jewelry, the jewelry tag would cover that. You would just be able to see all the jewelry just by clicking on that jewelry tag. But if you wanted to see just bracelets, you could click jewelry bracelets, if that makes sense. So we're kind of like maneuvering District to work for us for right now, because the programming is not really out there quite yet for it. So I'm trying to think of the best way to make that work. So for antiques and collectibles, it might say, the first one will be antiques/collectibles. And then it might say AC books and ephemera, AC coins and collectibles, or something like that. So you'll be able to pick your category that it goes into. And then if there's not a subcategory, which we're going to call it a subcategory for now, but if there's not a subcategory, like say you're like, oh my gosh, I have these, I don't know, vintage lighters or vintage cards or whatever. Just honestly, you don't have to click a subcategory. You can just do antiques and collectibles, and then you're good to go. Like you don't have to like search forever and be like, is this a collectible? Is this a what am I doing? So so there's going to be the 3 different like main tags that you can use, and then there's going to be a sub tag. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to explain it as best as I can, but overall there's going to be about 30 different ones that you can choose from, and now it's going to come out November 1st. So in the meantime, just keep listing how you're listing it. Sienna and I are going to go on the back end, and once everything's going to be start moving over, we're just going to have a job ahead of us trying to figure that all out. And hopefully it will really connect the community a lot more. Marissa was the one that kind of pushed me into this whole like idea. And then I was up until like 2 o'clock in the morning, like, oh my gosh, hemming and hawing. And this is going to be a big endeavor. District is not really set up for it. But I think overall, as far as the strengthening our community and making people feel like they're a part of a community and not just like the makers are not just floating off there with like 100 people over there. We're putting it all under the same umbrella. So I'm hoping the members. So the thing is that the sellers, everyone who's a seller needs to fill out that form. It's in the seller chats. It's in all kinds of different places. So make sure you find that and fill that out. It's really simple. And then it's just, do you give district permission? Members, we have to keep telling members, hey, members, and it might just be a personal message or whatever. I know some of you guys, whenever we have new people come into the community, you guys are already welcoming them, but it's going to have to be, hey, we're all moving over here, so come make sure you're joined to Lilyworks Jewels and Lots before the change happens. Because we're not really putting out a form for just the regular members, but we're going to just have to keep telling people, hey, I see you've joined. Yeah, that could help too, for sure. And then, but a lot of people that are members over there have been people that have been purchasing directly from Google. And so they become members because they have to purchase. And so it might be a little bit harder to track down everybody over there, which is, again, lovely. So, it will all work out in the end, but yeah. So with that being said, I'm also testing out something, and maybe someone can get a link for it. I don't know if you guys have seen, I've done like a community chat on Facebook. So if you've seen that, give me some hearts in the chat. And I've been like trying my best to invite people. And so we have about 50 people in there right now. So Justine has seen it. Awesome. Tony has seen it. Yay. And Amy. Okay. So yes, Maria. All right. So Kathy has, Facebook is much more engaging and active. And I hate to say this, but it is true, because District is supposed to be a really social and community-based platform, but they're just not like, it's not as active as I would like it to be as far as how they have the District chats set up. So we have, I usually have been using Facebook and then Facebook chats to just reach out and connect with people. But there's a lot of people who are missing out on what is actually going on in the community because they're not really getting alerted. They're not really checking the Facebook page, blah, blah, blah. And so I'm hoping that by having this like community chat, which has all these sub chats within it, will really help people to start talking and people to start asking questions. I've never used something like this before, so I'm hoping that it actually works how I would love it to work. I'm hoping, because there's one specifically that says like check out the lives in Lilyworks, because there's lives that are happening and we have a lot of people. We have like over 800 people, almost 900 people in our Facebook group. But not everyone is knowing that there's lives happening. And I was talking with a team, you guys, and I'm hoping people like rewatch this, because I was talking with a few different people about how live sales are going, and even like a lot of us are bringing in not only collector's pieces, but pieces that other people can resell, because there's some people in our group that specifically are trying to move inventory and pass it on to you so that you guys can resell. They got it at a really good deal, free, whatever. They are hooked up with an estate sale, whatever. They own an estate sale. And so those people are going live and they're like starting things at $5 that I have been purchasing and I have been flipping for, 40 to 100 or plus dollars. But you guys are just still not aware of it. So I'm like, how do I get people aware of it? Because there would be much more action, because these are the same people that would constantly message me from my YouTube channel. I would have a lot of people message me and say, Rachel, I'm stuck at home. Would you be willing to put together a reseller bundle for me? I would be willing to pay up, but I'm not able to leave my house. I'm on disability. I'm this and that. And so I'm just one person. So I wanted us to have a community where we're like, hey, I might not be able to do that, but I know Foxy Staying Upcycler can put those together. And so that's kind of what I want from the community. And so we have a lot of people going live, right? And the Buy It Nows, that if we just have to, like, I'm just like, how do we have almost 7,000 people on one YouTube, almost 3,000 in another, 800 in our group, and like all these amazing deals, right? Amazing, incredible even if you're just a collector. And I'm just like, how can I alert these people? So we're trying different like methods, and one of them is going to be the Facebook chat that I'm trying out. I was telling people, I'm like, I'm ready to buy a billboard because being like in charge of everything, I see how deserving like you guys are and how much you guys are working hard and things like that, and I want to honor and respect it. And I'm just like, how can I get people in? So I've been working really, really hard on that. And so if you haven't joined, make sure that you try to join that chat. So basically it has where it's like jewelry specific chat. It has the check out my lives. It has Makers Market specific, blah, blah, blah. So all these different things that you can go into, because there's actually like, even here, if you're having a question here, you might and you want an answer right away. You might just want to pop into the chat and say, hey, I have a question real quick. Can somebody help me? So that might actually really, really help. I actually bought from D yesterday, and I bought some Kate Spade earrings. I think it was like $16. And I'm like, yeah, my sister-in-law would like those for Christmas. I'm going to buy that. So that's what I did. Anything else? Oh. What is the theme? What is the theme going to be? So up until the weekend theme, right? You guys are all wondering. The weekend theme. So up until November 1st, we're going to be putting the weekend trains kind of at a hold. Like, I guess the themes are going to be in a hold. Because I'm trying to feel out the market and how that's going. I'm trying to feel out the change that is going to be happening November 1st. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting out a sign-up sheet that's going to be for Saturday. So if you want to sell Saturday and you want an hour spot, you're going to put in your name, and then you can literally sell what you want to sell for that hour spot. So it's going to be like kind of an open-end sale for Saturday. Yep. Oh, thank you, Marissa. Seller's choice. Awesome. So it's just going to be a sign-up sheet. It's going to be no pressure. You can create your own thumbnail. It's just going, oh, maybe I should put in something, to be honest, because sometimes when you're putting in things and people haven't watched and they don't rewatch this or whatever, they don't understand that a train's actually happening. So it might be good to put like a little picture or something in there to say like seller's choice. All right. There we go. I just banned this person. Ban from market. ban. They won't be able to. Yes. Okay, perfect. This person has been messaging me about my search optimization on my YouTube videos. So there we go. Ban from the market. All right. Seller's choice tutu. Yeah. So if you put in like a little picture thumbnail, then you'll be able to, people will be able to tell that it's actually a raid, because some people might say, oh, I see the 7 o'clock spot is open. I'm just going to go in there because I see it like a train forming, without actually knowing that it's a formal train. Then someone actually does, who is a part of the sign up, will schedule the 7 o'clock spot. And then they'll be like, well, I thought that I was just signing up to be a part of the train. So if people are not really aware of what's going on, they might just assume that there's a spot open or whatever. But there's actually like not. Does that make sense? So having a little bit of uniformity, maybe a generic thumbnail. Yeah, like it can literally just be like seller's choice raid train, and you could pop it in whatever whatever your business logo looks like or whatever, if that makes sense, so that people on the outside are like not, they kind of get the gist of what's going on. So that kind of takes a little bit of pressure off of what you want to do with that hour up until we start getting things rolling after November 1st. Then we'll like reconvene. How does that look for our community? How does that look for the makers? How does that look for your own trains? So speaking of which, we have JC, who is the Jade Peacock. She is hosting. She is the host. She is the conductor of the Tuesday breast cancer awareness train. And so this is hopefully going to open up more opportunities for you guys to start making trains based off of what you're interested in, or what is meaningful to your business, or however you want to grow your business. I know that some of you, like for instance, Mickey might be in she might have some connections to the Makers Market community, and she might say, hey, I just want to do a Sunday Makers Market train. I have a couple people in mind that I want to connect with, and we'll just go ahead and do that. And then now Kathy is saying, get your stuff ready now for holiday sales. Time is running short. Yes, get your stuff ready, especially if you guys have new with tags items. That seems to do really, really well around the holidays. And a lot of people look for men's jewelry around the holidays. I don't know if you guys have noticed that as jewelry resellers, but get your men's jewelry up, because I do sell quite a bit during that time. And then obviously any Christmas decor, any Christmas vintage decor, Christmas brass pieces, Christmas MCM ornaments, put them in. People are looking for them. And then as always, I'm trying to bump up our buy it now on District. It definitely is slower than eBay, but right now for me, it's equivalent to Poshmark, Mercari. Etsy's doing pretty okay. But when we created District, we wanted another platform that could be another venue for income for us, or another channel for income. So when you put the buy it now listings on District, that could potentially be another channel. Like, you don't just have to do live selling to make money. The thing with District is, because it's so new, is we have to keep pumping the listings into it to get the attention of the outside world. So if you think about it, I think I had like 5,000 listings on eBay just by myself at one point. And right now and that was on eBay. But right now we're at about 4,000. So, I mean, if we had a ton of, I think we'll start catching the attention of the algorithm over on Google. Once we actually start putting a lot of listings in there, we're going to start seeing the regular sales. So it's my job as the community leader to be like, yep, let's go. Let's get those listings in, because the more that we put it in there, the more we're going to see results. Again, it might not be for you, but it'd be for the community. So that's kind of the community mindset that we have, is Being a part of a community is definitely a little bit different than just hustling for yourself. It is a little bit of a give, right? Because you're trying to support each other, but you also get things in return as well, as far as building the community, being able to network, being able to get questions answered, being able to build off of each other's hustle, which is big too. And yeah, so, oh, any questions? Any questions? Kathy says the payoff will be worth it. Anyways, yeah, and I do have something that I'm working on behind the scenes still. I keep saying it, but it's a project. So I have to make sure that it's good to go before we actually release it. All right. Any questions before I head out? My hair, it takes forever to dry. Forever. Any questions about combining the marketplaces? Thank you, Justine. So I guess I'm just going to be putting it in the seller train. I'll probably be putting a sign-in sheet up in there. So nothing too formal. And then one thing is to, as part of the community that we're like realizing is, like how can we get buyers in? And so that's been like my main goal, like the last 3 weeks, is especially with the slowdown. Oh my goodness. It's like a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Cause if it was like individual me, right? If it was just me and I'm like, oh, eBay's slow right now, like that's just me. But when it's a community, I'm just like, oh my gosh, people need to come in here. Yeah. So anyways, I don't see any questions. So I will talk to you guys later. Make sure you rewatch this if you didn't catch the beginning. But yay. I will see you guys later. Oh. Kathy and I will be on later today. Yay. So make sure you pop in by us. And send all the people our way. I don't know. Just like seriously, go to the corner and just flip one of those signs and say, come join Lilyworks. I'm ready, you guys. I'm just like, people need to come in. But yeah, so I'll talk to you guys later. Yep, bumper stickers. Amy's on it. She's making bumper stickers. Do you feel that it has also slowed down because we were the sellers? Yep. That is definitely that's something I've been talking about with Sienna quite often, is like, and I'm trying to figure out a game plan for that, because I've also been talking to some of the main buyers also behind the scenes as well, and like where they like, where are you going? Because there was a big chunk. Okay. So it is, yep, Kathy is right. It's happening in other marketplaces on District as well. And so I do have some insight of like what's happening. And part of it is the economy. And then part of it is how District is set up. And then a big part of it is like people are not alerted to it as much. I don't know. So Maria said, yes, I've noticed. So, and like the thing with that is when the sellers are also the buyers, that kind of turns into Whatnot. And I don't want to say bad things about Whatnot, but a lot of people complain about Whatnot because you're just like, I have to sell things for $2 because I have to sell it to other resellers and I can't make any money. Or if I do make money, I have to buy it for like free. Pura says it's everywhere, the booths too. And so, so I guess that's what as a community, we're trying to not have happen. So one of the things is I have not been approving new live sellers lately until I can see a jump of new buyers. And so here is what I'm seeing as far as like buyers go. Like buyers a lot of times are resellers, but they're also collectors, and we want a healthy mix of both. A lot of the people that have been coming are not coming, like I'm not relying on people to trickle down within District. Like that is not the goal to like just have buyers just trickling throughout district. So in order to get fresh new buyers, my thing is I will continue to do what I'm doing on YouTube. So I'm advertising it in all my YouTube videos. And then basically my Thrift with Me's are in conjunction with the weekend trains and hey, come with us, blah, blah, blah. And so we regularly get in new people through that. And then a lot of people will say, hey, I'm on YouTube. How do I buy? And then we get a new buyer in. So that's a big thing is, yeah, Justine said I put a little card with a website and all my packages sold on other platforms too. And I know that a lot of you have started doing that too. I have started redoing that again too. So make sure you're putting in your code. Ooh, that's maybe something we should talk about next week is maybe I should have a, some kind of incentive or prize of who can get the most $5 sign up. So you guys know you get $5 off of, hey Maureen, you know how you can get $5 off your first $10 purchase code? You guys each have your own individual code. Ooh, you can't find your code. Can you go on the app? You can't find your code either? Great. You guys can all just use my code. All right. So here's my app. It says give 5, earn 5 right there. I sent business cards even if they buy every week. I tell them to share their card with a friend. That's awesome. Okay. So then it will say here, your referral code right there. And then you should also be able to see it on the website where it will say in your seller dashboard, give 5, earn 5. So let me see if I can find my seller dashboard real quick. All right, I'm looking, you guys. I'll have to send you a screenshot. Mine is missing that button. LOL. Great. All right, hold on. Listing, sale, shipment offers, insight, wallet. Is it in wallet? Hold on. Let me see. I keep getting all these political advertisements. Oh, earn rewards. All right, guys, I know this is backwards, but if you're on the website, it will say right under profile, it should say earn rewards. And you want to click that where it says earn rewards. If you go on the website, earn rewards, click on that on your computer and it will pop up under earn rewards if you have that. Otherwise, contact district support as always. Contact. So yeah, with that being said, that's one of the reasons why I'm like, because here's the thing with Whatnot is we're able to bookmark shows. Like you can say on Whatnot, and not to say that we want to be like Whatnot, because for me, Whatnot, I was selling things at $2. So, but there are some features that Whatnot has that allows you to grow your buyer base. And you can say, join or bookmark my next shows coming up. And so people will be able to go through, click. What we have is please follow me feature, right? And then also sometimes people will tag, actually they'll do a lot of tagging, is like, hey, my show's coming up, and they'll tag the people who regularly come to their shows. I don't want to bombard, like, I don't know, I just don't like that. I don't like tagging people that could potentially buy within district. I feel like that kind of like highlights like, hey, you're my buyer and I want you. So that's not a method I would like to use. But I'm wondering if having the Facebook chat where everyone in our community can see it, because we do have quite a bit of buyers in there. And if we don't have collector buyers, we definitely have reseller buyers. So, and I know that they're like, I don't know. So it just is a matter of like getting alerted, but I want to do it in a way where I'm not like spamming people and bothering them, but there's a healthy balance to everything because yeah. So if you guys put out your cards because I actually do have regular buyers on eBay, and I've had regular buyers on Poshmark, eBay, Etsy, things like that. Like they'll save your shop and then they trust you and they buy from you. Justine said, yep, we have to bother them just enough. I mean, I bother you guys just enough, right? But anyways, any other questions? That was a really good question, and we could probably go into that topic for a long time. But honestly, I'm here to listen for it because I'm in the same boat as you guys. Like I said, like my main goal was to have this be another outlet for our community to be able to make sales and to connect and to grow. And my ultimate goal and vision is that we would all, like, district and our community would be like rocking and rolling for everybody. And we would be like, wow, this is my number one platform. That would be the ultimate goal, right? A community platform that was like rocking and rolling. That would be amazing. But if it's not, how can I help our community in other ways? Can I help you figure out how to cross post from eBay to district? Can I help you figure out magic comments? Can I help you figure out what is the new Poshmark fees? Did you guys see that today? Poshmark. Yes, I know. TikTok is a good platform. I'm not good with TikTok. I've gotten a few that have gone semi-viral, but it wasn't my my jam. Like I posted Garfield like a Garfield spice haul and stuff like that. But what was I saying? What was I saying? Someone remind me what I was saying. My brain is not working so well. I am not a morning person. Kathy's comedy show. Oh yeah, put that on TikTok. What was I saying? Oh, Poshmark. Poshmark. Do you guys get that thing where Poshmark had changed their fees because before it was 20%, and then anything below. It was 20% fees for everything $15 and above, and then everything that was $15 and below had a flat rate fee of $2.95 or something like that. So everyone for years has been okay. Like we've been okay with it. Like it's like, okay, that's whatever. And then they changed it to this like staggered fee structure that ended up costing way more than 20% when people actually did the math. It looked good up front because it was like $1 fee if this much and $2 and $3 for this much. But when people actually did the math, it was like, nope, that's 35% of what I'm making. And so a lot of people were starting to chat all over Facebook chats and all over everywhere. And we're not okay with that, especially live sellers, things like that. We're not okay with it. So we got an email from corporate Poshmark today saying that they're going back to the old fee structure. So things like that. If like our community needs to know, hey, there's something new that's going on that might affect our community. And like I said, our community is not just district. We use it as a resource where we can be a community. We can promote each other. We can promote ourselves. We can collaborate. We can give to each other, things like that. But yep, you hit them in the pocket. Yep, Poshmark was hit in the pocketbook. But like I'm the kind of person that is like very much like I will go. I've made a decision. I will stick to that decision, and then I will die on this cross. You guys know that about. I've said this before, and then lately, because I'm a community like leader and owner, I have to be like where I'm like, okay, I'm listening. I'm willing to pivot. I'm willing to pivot, and so it's totally against like like how I normally and naturally am. But like when Marissa was like, "Hey, have you ever considered," and I think Dee had even said that to me, like, and I would explain why I have it separate, which still how district is kind of like how it is. But in the end goal of everything, it's not going to be perfect, but I am like, okay, I see what you're saying. I can pivot. And so that's been my new word within the last like 3 weeks is like, okay, I'm willing to pivot. I'm willing. So if Poshmark is like, all right, that didn't work, I can totally see why. Like, I'm just like, yep, Poshmark should not die in that cross because people were like leaving, and it was terrible. Sometimes, though, I think that eBay needs to listen a little bit more in regards to certain things. Marissa is a business woman. Yeah. Well, is she still here? Yes, she is. Awesome. Yeah. I'm waiting for her to say something. Oh, okay. She just said LOL. Yes, eBay's over here taking 20% to 40% after suggested promoter percentages sometimes. So yeah, I promote my listings. And the thing is that eBay also takes percentage off of shipping costs. Like say you're rounding to 20% or whatever, it's also taking that off the shipping. And I think at some point, I don't know if it's changed, but it was also taking the percentage off of tax. So as entrepreneurs, we can benefit from a balance of tenacity and flexibility. I know we're all about stuff she says, they do, and it's illegal. Yes, truth, Marissa, it's frustrating. So if you want any suggestions on Shopify, are you really starting a Shopify, Justine? Because, okay, well, I will support you, but I'm just saying Shopify is also a hustle. But totally, you can totally do that. You just have to build your people as well. It is. It's a whole nother animal. It is a whole nother animal. It's really easy to create and to figure out, and you're able to have like lower potential fees, but you have to pay a monthly fee to keep the website up. So, and you have to do a lot of advertising. So, that is a whole thing too. Right? And the maintenance. Yes. So, there's all the things. Anyways, any other questions? Because my husband is in charge of the children right now. So I have a little bit of time. So I use Vendoo just to cross post onto Shopify. Yep. And then Marissa has her adventure coming up or is in the midst of it. And we're here to support you, Marissa. Yep. Yay. All right. Okay. Have an awesome day, you guys. Bye.